Hello guys, I've got another mailbag video for you today. We've had quite a few this month, this is probably the third, but this time it's not coming from a company. This is just some stuff that I bought that hopefully you'll find interesting. So let's get started. We'll start with the bigger package. And very easy to see what this is, and I mentioned it in a previous mailbag video. This is the Claas Xerion 5000 that I'm going to try to put the RC car parts, the DK Summit RC car that we got from gearbest.com that had the good 4-wheel drive system in it, and I'm going to try and squeeze that 4-wheel drive system into this tractor, and hopefully that'll work out. Might be a little bit difficult to do, but we'll take a look at the car up against the tractor now in a few minutes. Let's check out our other package. This was a second-hand purchase, so these might not be in very good condition, but we'll just have to see. So this is a Fendt 930, a Siku Control Fendt 930, and a second-hand. I paid about 30 euros for it, something like that. And it doesn't come with the battery or the controller, but that's the way I want it, obviously, because I want it to work with my radio system. These are some of the early ones. You can see there the little light pipe for the infrared. So what I'm planning to do with these is just remove the old infrared stuff and put my own radio module and my own batteries into it. That way I can control all my trailers and everything the same as I do with my other tractors. The reason I bought these was when you go to buy the Siku motors, they usually cost like 27 euros or something when you include shipping to get the Siku motor, and that's when you buy a lot of motors. So if you're buying them individually, it would have cost me more than this tractor. Now I know the motor in this would be used, but I took that risk that it might be okay. Well, it was an easy risk for me to take, I suppose, because I have spare motors and I have about 2,000 spare wheels for this thing at this point, so if I get it flat, we shouldn't have any trouble there. So let's see what the other one looks like. This one is John Deere, and it's another Control 32 model. This is a very small one, actually. Yeah, this is quite a small tractor compared to the other one, so it'll probably be pretty small compared to all my other models. What looks to be the lights, a little bit of damage. Oh, a little bit of damage there too. You can see that little indicator. We can glue that back in place. This came from up here, so that would suggest somebody had it apart. So maybe the infrared system didn't work in these models anyway, so I don't know. I bought them on an eBay page in German and I translated most of it, but it was a little bit hard to understand. But the main point was Siku Control 32 tractor, no battery, no controller, which is what I was looking for. I didn't want a controller and a battery that I'd have to throw away anyway. So this was ideal for me. But looks like we've a few little things to fix, just glue them in place, but otherwise looks pretty good. If we look at the Fendt 930, this model seems to be in a bit better condition than the John Deere was. It's a pretty good shape for a second-hand model. There's a couple of little scratches, like you can see here on the mudguard, the front mudguard. It's been scratched there. Bonnet opens. Not too much to see in there, just plastic. You can see it has these tiny little LEDs in here, look like 1.8mm LEDs that are just pushed up to a hole there, so I guess there's a PCB behind that. My plan with this is to just for now use the LEDs that come with the model. I'm not going to add any to it yet. I'm just going to get it driving and all the lights that are on it working. You can see we have some 1.8mm LEDs at the back here as well. So that's my initial plan. I've seen this little mechanism here. I like this kind of hitch setup. I haven't actually noticed this before. I've used some Siku Control models, but I didn't take a real good look at them. You can see the hitch here. We can actually still move the hitch, which is very useful for, say you had the hitch in the upward position and you just wanted to quickly hit your trailer, you could just lower it down manually, put the trailer in and lift it back up into the mechanism, and that's how that little servo arm then just pulls it up and down. That's pretty handy. You can see at the back of the model, Siku added this big space to put a battery in there. That kind of thing should make the conversion to my system a lot easier, because you know there's probably a huge amount of space given for the Siku electronics. So when we pull that all out, we should have loads of space. I don't know if the normal model is like this, but it looks a little bit high to me, and it's pretty boxy. So I would say Siku have given themselves the maximum amount of space to fit the electronics, so we shouldn't have any difficulty getting our electronics into it. I don't know where. Oh, the on-off switch was on the battery, I think, on these models. So we've no on-off switch, but maybe I could use this selector. I don't know. We'll see if that's a switch. I could probably just use that. It'd be just as handy. John Deere's not in as good a condition. We had these little lights from the top here, but we can put that in. That probably suggests that someone had this model apart already, so we can probably assume that the infrared doesn't work, but that's okay. I have no intention of using that. Again, it has the nice hitch on the back, so I quite like that design. It's pretty good. These lights that are hanging on here, we'll have to glue them in place, and again, some tiny little 1.8mm LEDs, and same on the back. I note that the little LEDs that are on this probably look a bit silly next to my Massey or my John Deere with the ridiculously big spotlights and stuff on them. But why I bought these models was just to have some models there that I could test out, or to just spin around. I mean, I have too many conversions to work on at the minute that are going to have all those lights. So if I just convert these to driving and steering and working lifting arms and the working original lights, I'd have two pretty decent models with very little work. That's my plan here. This conversion should be pretty simple. Now, along the way, I'm going to obviously do a video dismantling each of these tractors, and I'll talk about the electronics that's in it if I can figure out anything interesting about it. The steering servo, I'll do a video how to control a Siku steering servo or lifting arm servo. I'd imagine it's identical servo. I don't see why Siku would make two different servos for basically to do the same thing. They'd probably just put a gear on the front servo and a servo arm on the rear servo. So I'd say it's identical servo, identical system. So we'll figure out how that works, and I'll do that in another video. And then obviously there'll be some videos of conversion. It could actually be pretty simple conversion. It might only need one video because we're not actually doing anything to the model. We're just rewiring it, which should be pretty straightforward really, because all the mechanical functions are there. The lights, the LEDs, they're already mounted. So from that point of view, it should be pretty straightforward. Well, let's take a look at this massive Claas tractor here. I actually didn't think it was going to be this big, but we do need a big tractor to fit this four-wheel drive system into it. So let's take a look and see what we're actually working with here. Now, I don't know if this is actually going to work. Now, obviously, this was just the idea, and it may not work. So this is the model that I chose to try and squeeze all that four-wheel drive system from the RC car into. The steering is sticking a little bit for some reason. I'm not sure why. Looks like a fairly normal Siku steering. We seem to have a lot of space on the bottom here. We should be able to fit our RC car into. Well, I say we should be able to fit the RC car into it, but it's not going to be that simple. It is going to be difficult to squeeze the RC car into this, because it's not built for that. So it's not going to be straightforward at all. So here's the RC car up beside the Claas tractor. I'll just take off the cover and we might be able to see the gearbox a little bit better. So you can see there's our front differential. So that differential has to fit into the front of the tractor here somehow. So you can see it's going to be a tight enough squeeze. Kind of hard to see. We'll know better when we get it we'll know better when we get the differential dismantled, but this little piece in here, that needs to go in the front here, and these steering axles need to go on there somewhere. Hopefully that will all fit in relatively easy. Now I'm pretty sure this motion of the wheels going up and down, I'm probably going to lose that, and that's just going to be one solid axle. I'm probably going to have to 3D print some sort of wishbone pieces that will go from the frame here to the new wheel assembly, which will be from the RC car, and that'll probably be further into the wheel here than the current Siku system is. But I think that's going to be a solidly fixed piece, so we're going to lose this motion, and the reason for that is it will just make the whole drivetrain a little bit simpler if I don't need to worry about things moving up and down. We can lose some of the universal joints if we do it that way, which will make it a little bit simpler to drive, because obviously there's 2 universal joints in this because it has independent suspension and the wheels need to move around. But obviously this tractor is going to be pretty much on flat surface all the time, so we shouldn't need to do that. So I don't know what else I can really tell you about this at the minute, because obviously I don't know exactly how I'm going to do it. You just have to keep following the videos. The first part of this whole thing will be dismantling this RC car. I don't know when I'll get around to doing that. This could be a couple of months down the line for all I know. I'm not 100% sure. I'll probably do the 2 Siku tractors first, because I think they're going to be pretty simple, and this will probably take me a long time. I said I'd do an update on the John Deere 9560R model, and I started that last weekend, and it's proven a little bit tricky, but hopefully this Thursday I'll have that video. If not, it'll be next Thursday. So if you have any comments or suggestions for these builds, let me know in the forum, or let me know in the comments below the video. And if you like this video, make sure and give it a thumbs up, and that's pretty much everything. So thanks very much for watching.